High school students in Springfield are asking their school committee to set aside millions of dollars to tackle mental health issues among teens. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson joins us live in Springfield after speaking with students about their proposal. Maria.
Chris, the Springfield School Committee members are hearing from students right now to talk about the impact that additional mental health resources would have on them. We caught up with students as they gathered for tonight's school budget public hearing. They are among the dozens of high school students in partnership with the Pioneer Valley Project who are proposing that the school district spends $4 million for mental health services at their high schools. These students conducted a survey of over 250 Springfield teens about their mental health. According to that survey, 1 in 5 students reported having suicidal thoughts, and about half of those surveyed say that they experience general anxiety. Students tell Western Mass News this money would provide much-needed mental health resources for students.
I want to see more kids saying that they can, they feel like they have a place to go at school because we're there majority of the time. So I want to make sure that us students feel safe.
Sanea, Sylvia, and other students we spoke with say that the money would go towards hiring more counselors, extracurriculars, and other resources for students. We reached out to the Springfield Public Schools Chief of Communication Officer Azel Kavan for response. She tells Western Mass News in a statement, quote, "Understanding the impact that COVID-19 has on the mental health of the world, our community, and our students, Springfield Public Schools remain committed to investing in resources that support mental wellness. Every year, we invite stakeholders to provide input as we formulate the next fiscal year's budget, and we certainly welcome students as part of that process. The school committee will be voting on their budget, including that proposed $4 million during their meeting next week." For now, reporting live in Springfield, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.